Hello, YouTube. Matt from Just Stack It here. And everybody has hobbies and interests that they're passionate about. But what happens when that hobby or interest is something that you really shouldn't talk about in public? For precious metal stackers and collectors, can lead to a feeling of isolation, a lack of places to talk about and share your love for your hobby. Today, we're going to get into that a little bit and talk about some of the problems and some of the solutions. Now, there's a stigma around stacking and precious metals. And it's a good problem to have, but it still can lead to issues. Those being mainly if and when you do try to talk to someone about the value of silver and gold and stacking precious metals, coins, bars, rounds, and other collectibles, you often get met with the outsider's point of view. They think it's silly, they think you're wasting your money, they think you're kind of kooky, maybe they put you into a crackpot, you know, economic collapse type of persona that they've been programmed with from watching news or prepper reality shows or whatever have you. But there can be some friction there. I know myself when I have tried to talk to different people about precious metal stacking, silver stacking, and getting them kind of in tune. The biggest issue on that seems to be where are they at financially? Where is their mindset? How in tune are they with the thought of saving? If you take someone that's already saving and successful at that, and then sit them down and maybe have the conversation about precious metals and stacking, I feel like you're going to possibly be more successful with someone of that nature. But if you take one member of the general public and sit them down and talk to them and try to explain to them why they have to buy something at $25 to $30 an ounce to establish their financial well-being and to prepare for the unforeseen, they're just not going to get it. They don't understand. Now, these are the same people buying $8 Starbucks and with more credit card debt than most of us would ever care to think about, but it is the case. So we can often be shunned a little bit in some cases when we try to talk to some of our friends and coworkers and loved ones about precious metal stacking. And this leads me into my next point, and this is the crux of the video: finding a community. Now, in today's day and age, we're doing a lot better than our predecessors ever were. Most people in the past, and I mean the distant past, were limited to coin and other type of collectors groups, and there was no internet. You had to know somebody. You had to get in that social circle, and chances are they were few and far between. That's why, if you remember, pen pals literally were so commonplace in the not too distant past because it was sometimes hard to find people in your area that shared the same interests as you. And so when you did find or otherwise run into these people, you would keep in touch through being pen pals. Well, nowadays we have the internet. Lucky us. We have places like YouTube, my home, to share our thoughts, our feelings, information, helpful tips with the rest of the community who care to watch. Thank you very much, by the way. for tuning into this video. So we are lucky. Now we have places like Instagram, Reddit, Facebook, even though that's a weird one. A lot of people have their personal information tied to their Facebook accounts, which, um, therein leads to other problems when you're on that forum and talking about stacking and precious metals. I advise everyone to be very careful what, if anything, you post places like that may be tied to your actual identity. Now, on the YouTube side of things, it's great because we have video to go with it. It's not just a forum. We can put graphics up. It's pretty limitless as far as what kind of content we can share with the community. We can share our recent purchases, like some of these things that I have on the table here. Look at this ear of the dog. Look at that detail. Oh, and the little puppy there. So cute. It's a great coin. I'm really happy to have it. The nice stuff. The nice stuff always gets me. I'm trying to get back to basics this year. We'll see how that goes. Stuff like this, right? Buffalo, normal. This one's a little on the proofy side, but things like this, 45 caliber, 1 ounce silver, that's got to go. We can't do that anymore. So we're going to try to get back to basics, but the point of the matter here is that we can share a lot of stuff on YouTube with whomever chooses to view it. And this is nice. Other places, online forums, is still a great place to get information, to share information, and to learn. Some people like that format better. So there are still, and now there are growing, collector communities, primarily centered around numismatics, but I'm sure if you go in there as a silver stacker, you're going to be welcomed. And at the very least, you can talk about Morgans and Benjis and Kennedys and some of the other stuff, the silver coinage that you may have, and maybe they'll open your eyes a little bit, and you'll open their eyes a little bit, and you can have some mutual appreciation. I'm sure they would welcome you in. But even with all of that, we are still very limited. Now we have larger coin shows and things like that where we can go to network with other people. But even that often requires a plane flight or a long car trip, taking time off of work. Not everybody is able to do that. And that's why YouTube, for the stacker community, is such a successful place for many people. I mean, I can't count the number of successful creators on here, some really great ones. If you are hip, get over to Frostbite Coins and Collectibles, and he is doing an interview series on different collectors and obviously YouTubers that really dives in deep to find out what got them stacking. And he asks some really good and poignant questions that kind of get below the surface level and give you a real insight into some of these creators. And he's got some big names on the roster coming up. I know he interviewed me. I don't know when that one goes live, but it's coming up soon. So look for that. If you're not hip, I will put his link in the description below. Get over there and subscribe so you can check out that video series. It is going to be phenomenal. But the benefits of the community at large really help individual stackers, whether you're intermediate, you're an expert, or you're a beginner, to socialize with other members of the community, whether that be just watching videos, maybe leaving a comment, on whatever you might see or think regarding the content that you've watched, or in a lot of cases, I have seen some of the more experienced stackers helping and providing advice and critiques to people in the comments section. So you can be that type of stacker that goes around and helps clear up misconceptions. Or if the creator can't, maybe get to the answer to that question before you can, and you're watching the video, go ahead, go in the comments, answer that person's question, try to help them out. This is a very generous and helpful community as I have found in my time here, and I'm very, very glad to be a part of it. But you can also look for some of those alternatives. Reddit, um, different forums. Coin Help You has their own forums. Uh, so look around, kind of get in where you fit in. Maybe even look into joining a local collectors club. Uh, you may see some really cool things that you might not otherwise see once you get in there and they have like a show and tell session. You may see someone bring out something that hasn't seen the light of day for a while, or that you may not have the chance to otherwise see in that kind of setting. So, first and foremost, I want to thank everybody, as I always do, for your time and attention. Being a part of a community is a great thing, but when you can't generally talk about it, I find myself looking forward very much to the part of the day where I get to sit down in front of my camera and record a video, or sit down at my computer and watch whatever content I have time to consume from the other channels and people that I respect and admire. I enjoy interacting with everybody in my comment section and other people's comment sections, live streams, much the same as you all do. So, in closing, don't talk about silver and precious metals collecting to just anybody. The message is almost never received super well, and if you do, do so lightly, very carefully. Don't be pushy, that's never helpful. And if you do get somebody interested, great. But chances are, most of the general public is not easily converted over into our side of thinking. A lot of things have to happen. If you've looked at some of my and the other videos out there, a lot of stackers had trouble saving. A lot of people got kind of pushed to a financial limit before they said enough was enough, and they changed their lives for the better by stacking precious metals to ensure their financial well being. It's a highly liquid asset, can be sold for the majority of what you've paid for it in short order, almost any time. So it is a great thing to have, but more so than the physical silver and the really cool things like this bullion exchanges bottle cap, five or 6 grams of silver in this. Ooh, I paid a lot, but it is pretty. But even more so than the trinkets and the shiny is the community. And again, as always, I want to thank you for your time and attention. Um, the community makes everything that we do here worthwhile, whether that's, you know, on a first person basis like myself, or just a member of the community that gets an answer to a question they had in a comment section. Whatever the case may be, I assure you that we're all better for this community and to be a part of it. So, again, I thank you very much. Tell me what you think in the comments. Maybe tell me about a situation where another stacker or collector helped you when you weren't really sure of which direction to go or what outcome to take. And as always, if you're bored, go watch another one of my videos. You can check those out, and I look forward to seeing you in the next.